Like Buchanan's, life can feel like a maze with no exit, twisting, turning, shadowed by uncertainty that wraps around you like a cold, damp shroud. Every corner you turn leads to another wall, another dead end, another question with no answer. One moment you're standing tall with dreams in your hands, the sun warm on your face, your heart beating with purpose, your eyes bright with plans for tomorrow. The next, including Nebuchadnezzar, you're drowning in a flood of questions that crash over you like a relentless tide, pulling you under until you can't breathe, can't think, can't see a way outing, including Nebuchadnezzar. Why is this happening to me? Why did the doctor's words echo like a death knell through the sterile white walls of that exam room? Why did the job I poured my soul into slip through my fingers like sand? Why did the person I trusted most turn their back and walk away without a word? When will the pain stop stabbing at my chest like a jagged knife? When will the night stop stretching into endless hours of worry? Where the clock ticks louder than my heartbeat? Where did my dreams go? Those fragile, beautiful hopes I cradled like a child, now scattered like leaves in a storm, trampled underfoot, lost to the wind. How will I survive this? How will I face tomorrow when today feels like a mountain I can't climb, a weight I can't carry, a shadow I can't escape? The weight of doubt presses down like a fog, thick and suffocating, a gray veil that blurs every step ahead until you can't tell if you're moving forward or spiraling deeper into a pit of despair. Including Nebuchadnezzar, your feet stumble over roots you didn't see, your hands grope for something, anything to hold onto, but the air feels empty, the silence deafening. A void that swallows every sound except the pounding of your own fears. Maybe it's a diagnosis that came out of nowhere, a phone call that shattered your world in seconds. The sterile smell of a hospital room still lingers in your nose. Including Nebuchadnezzar, the word cancer or chronic or terminal ringing in your ears like a bell you can't unhear. Your plans dissolve like mist before your eyes. Nebuchadnezzar, your future shrinking into a single, terrifying question mark. You sit staring at the ceiling tiles, counting them to keep your mind from unraveling. Including Nebuchadnezzar, the doctor's voice fades into him as your thoughts race. How long do I have? What will happen to my kids, my spouse, my life? How do I tell them? Nebuchadnezzar, how do I keep going when every breath feels borrowed, the walls close in, the air grows thin, and the life you knew slips away like a photograph fading in the sun? Including Nebuchadnezzar, you walk out of that office, the world outside buzzing with normalcy, cars honking, people laughing, while inside you're screaming a silent wail no one hears. Your hands tremble as you grip the steering wheel, your eyes blur with tears you can't hold back, the road ahead a metaphor for the uncertainty you now carry. Every traffic light is a pause to wrestle with the what-ifs. Every mile is a reminder of the battle you didn't choose. Or perhaps it's a betrayal that cut deeper than you thought possible, a friend who promised forever but vanished when the clouds rolled in. The laughter, once a comfort, is now a ghost that haunts your quiet moments. You replay the conversations, searching for the moment it all went wrong. The late night talks where you bared your soul, the secrets you entrusted to them like treasures, now weaponized against you or tossed aside like trash. You see their face in every crowd, hear their voice in every song, and the H grows sharper, a one that bleeds with every memory. Or maybe it's a spouse who vowed, till death do us part, but left you staring at divorce papers on a kitchen table that once held family dinners. The ink is still wet, the silence louder than any argument. You trace the lines where love used to live, the way they'd kiss your forehead, the way they'd laugh at your bad jokes, and now it's gone, replaced by cold distance, by a stranger wearing a familiar face. You walk through a house that feels like a museum of what was, the couch where you watched movies together, now a relic, the bed half empty and cold, the kids' questions. Where's mommy? Where's daddy? Piercing your heart like arrows you can't dodge. Or maybe it's a colleague who smiled to your face while sharpening a knife for your back. The promotion you worked for, handed to them. The whispers in the break room you weren't meant to hear. The trust you'll never get back. The sting of their handshake still burning your palm. Every office chair a reminder of the ladder they climbed over you. Every email a silent taunt of their victory. Or maybe it's a season of waiting that stretches on endlessly, each day piling onto the last like bricks on your chest, crushing the air from your lungs until you forget what it feels like to breathe freely. A job application unanswered for months, the inbox silent as a grave, the phone still a stone. You refresh the screen hoping for a flicker of life, but it's just you and the cursor blinking back, mocking your persistence. You walk past the office you dreamed of, the desk you pictured yourself at, and it's someone else's now, their name on the door, their coffee mug on the table, while you're stuck in a limbo of summies and rejection letters. Each "we've chosen another candidate" is a punch to the gut. Each interview a false dawn that fades to dusk. Or maybe it's a crib that stays empty year after year. The nursery painted and waiting, the rocking chair still, the sound of other people's babies, a quiet ache in your soul. You pass playgrounds and hear the laughter, see the strollers and feel the pang. The doctor's charts and tests pile up, the words infertility or miscarriage carved into your memory. You hold your partner's hand but feel the distance growing, the unspoken grief a wall between you. Every month a cycle of hope and heartbreak. Every negative test, a silent scream. Or perhaps it's a prayer lifted daily, hourly, yet met with nothing but the hum of your own breathing. You kneel by your bed, hands clasped so tight your knuckles turn white, words tumbling out in a desperate stream. God, where are you? Why don't you answer? What am I doing wrong? The ceiling stares back, the air grows heavy, and the silence feels like abandonment. You wonder if he's forgotten you, if your voice is too small, if your faith is too weak. Hope feels like a distant memory you can't quite touch, a photograph faded at the edges, yellowed and curling, a melody you once knew but can't hum anymore, a scent you can't place, a dream you can't reclaim. In the silence, fear knocks louder than hope, its voice sharp and insistent, a cruel whisper that slithers into your mind when the lights go out, when the house settles into its nightly creaks, when the world outside fades to black. You're not enough, not strong enough, not smart enough, not worthy enough. You'll never make it through this. You'll never climb out of this hole. This is all there is, this shadow, this maze, this endless night. Give up. Let go. Surrender to the dark, but it's a thief creeping through the night. Silent footsteps on the floorboards of your soul, stealing your peace with every breath, your joy with every thought, your will to fight with every heartbeat, tempting you to believe that this shadow is your forever, that the maze has no end, that the fog will never lift, that the tide will keep rising until it swallows you whole. It paints pictures in your mind, yourself alone, forgotten, broken, a shell of who you were. It replays your failures on a loop, the missed chances, the wrong turns, the words you can't take back. It whispers that tomorrow will be worse, that the diagnosis will win, that the divorce is your fault, that the job will never come, that the crib will stay empty, that the prayer will stay unanswered. It's a weight that grows heavier with every step, a chain that tightens with every doubt, a storm that rages harder with every tear. Maybe you've lost your footing entirely, fallen to your knees on a cold, hard floor, the tiles biting into your skin. Your hands are pressed against your face, tears slipping through your fingers like rain through a cracked roof, your voice hoarse from crying out to a sky that feels too far away, too vast, too silent. Maybe you've stood at the edge of giving up, staring into a chasm of despair, the wind howling around you, tugging at your clothes, urging you to jump, including neckheadness to let the shadows swallow you whole, to let the tide sweep you away. Maybe you whispered to yourself in the dark, "I can't do this anymore." The words are heavy as lead, final as a locked door, a surrender you never thought you'd speak. Your chest tightens, including Nebuchadnezzar, your throat burns, your eyes sting with the salt of defeat. Maybe you've sat in your car after the doctor's call, the engine off, the world outside a blur, including Nebuchadnezzar, wondering how you'll tell your family, how you'll face the mirror, how you'll take the next breath. Maybe you've lain awake after the betrayal, and clock venison clock glowing 3 a.m., the pillow soaked, the memories replaying like a cruel film. Maybe you've stood in that empty nursery, hands on the crib rail, including Nebuchadnezzar, the silence louder than any scream, feeling the weight of a future you can't reach. Maybe you've knelt by your bed night after night, fists clenched, fading Nebuchadnezzar, prayers fading into sobs, and felt the absence of an answer like hole in your heart. But wait, just for a moment, hold your breath and listen, including Nebuchadnezzar, because a light breaking through the cracks of this crumbling world, a truth stronger than the darkness pressing in. A whisper rising above the noise of your fears, calling you to hold on. It's faint at first, like the first pink streak of dawn on a horizon you thought would stay black forever, like the distant hum of a song you can't yet name. Nebuchadnezzar, like the flicker of a candle in a wind you thought would snuff it out, but it's there, steady, growing, a pulse beneath the chaos, a hand reaching through the fog, a voice cutting through the storm. You're not alone, not ever. There's a presence walking beside you, a hope flickering in the distance, a promise woven into the fabric of your soul. A maze may twist, the shadows may deepen, but they don't own you. They don't define you. They don't get the last word. So pause right here, right now. Lift your eyes, even if they're blurred with tears, even if your heart trembles, including Nebuchadnezzar, even if your hands shake, because something stronger than the tide that threatens to drown you, brighter than the fog that blinds you, louder than the fear that defends you. It's the sound of hope refusing to die, the glow of a light no darkness can snuff out. The echo of a God who sees you, knows you, including Nebuchadnezzar, loves you and won't let you go. It's not a mirage, a trick of the mind, not a fleeting wish. It's real. It's solid. It's yours. And it's breaking through right now, in this moment, in this breath, in this heartbeat. So let's linger here, because this isn't just a passing thought. It's a lifeline. Imagine you're standing in that hospital parking lot, the diagnosis still ringing, the world spinning. But then there's a breeze, soft and unexpected, brushing your cheek, carrying the scent of rain. A reminder that life still moves, that the earth still turns, that you're still here. Or picture yourself in that silent house, the divorce papers stark against the table, but outside there's a bird singing through the dawn, its notes piercing the stillness, a tiny defiance against the weight. Or see yourself in that nursery, the crib empty, the walls bare, but then a ray of sunlight slips through the blinds, painting a stripe of gold across the floor. A whisper that the day isn't done, that the story isn't over. These are the cracks, the places where the light seeps in, where the shadows break open, where hope dares to breathe. They're small, they're quiet, but they're real, and they're yours. They are the first threads of a tapestry you can't yet see, the first notes of a song you'll one day sing, the first steps out of the maze you thought would hold you forever. Maybe it's the loss of a job that's left you adrift, the office you loved now a memory, the desk cleared out, the badge turned in, the last day replays in your mind, the awkward goodbyes, the box of belongings in your arms, the drive home with the radio off, silence your only companion. You sit at home now, bills stacking up like a tower ready to fall. The mortgage notice glares red. The fridge is half empty. The kids ask for things you can't give. You scroll job boards until your eyes burn. Each no response, a brick in the wall of your doubt. Each rejection, a voice whispering. You're finished. You walk past the factory, the store, the classroom where you used to belong, and it's like a piece of you is still there, trapped behind glass. The shame of unemployment feels like a brand. The questions from family, what happened, what's next, sting like salt in an open wound. You avoid the mirror, avoid the news, avoid the truth. The savings are dwindling. The future you planned is slipping away. The identity you tied to your work is unraveling thread by thread. Or maybe it's the grief of a loved one gone, a parent, a sibling, a child, a friend. The funeral is still fresh, the smell of lilies clinging to your clothes. The sound of dirt hitting the coffin echoes in your ears. You walk into a house that's too quiet now. Their chair empty at the table, their coat still hanging by the door, their voice missing from the phone. You pass their favorite coffee shop, their park bench, their garden, and each spot is a stab, a reminder of what's lost. You hold their picture, trace their smile, but the glass is cold, the frame heavy, and the tears come at the grocery store, in the car, in the middle of a laugh that turns into a sob. You replay the last words, the last hug, the last fight, wishing you'd said more, done more, been more. The world moves on, people chatter, seasons change, but you're stuck, frozen in that moment. The calendar is a traitor, marking days they'll never see, birthdays they'll never celebrate, holidays they'll never share. The silence of their absence is a weight you carry everywhere, a shadow that follows every step. Or perhaps it's the collapse of a dream, a business you built from scratch, late nights over spreadsheets, early mornings with coffee and hope, every dollar saved, every risk taken, all for that sign on the door, that first sale, that vision of success. But then the market shifted. The loans piled up, the customers dwindled. You fought to keep it alive, cut corners, begged banks, prayed for a miracle, but the closed sign went up anyway, the keys were turned over, the windows went dark. You drive by now and see the empty storefront, the faded logo, the dust gathering where life once buzzed. You feel the failure like a stain, the whispers of a "told you so" from skeptics, the guilt of letting employees go, the weight of debt like chains. You wonder if you misheard your calling, if the dream was a delusion, if you'll ever dare to dream again. The nights stretch long with what ifs. What if I'd done this? What if I'd seen that? What if I'd been better? The days stretch longer with emptiness, no purpose to wake for, no goal to chase. Just a void where ambition used to live. Or maybe it's the fracture of family. A child who drifted away, their room untouched, their chair empty at dinner. You see their childhood toys in the attic, their school photos on the wall, but they don't call, don't write, don't come home. You replay the fights, the raised voices, the slammed doors, wondering where it broke, what you missed, what you could have fixed. Or a parent fading into dementia, their eyes blank where recognition once shone, their stories lost to a fog you can't pierce. You hold their hand, but it's not them, not really. You grieve them while they're still breathing. The hospital visits become a ritual of loss. The nurse's pity, a quiet knife, or siblings torn apart by inheritance, by old wounds, by words that can't be unsaid. The family table now a battleground, the holidays a reminder of division. You long for the laughter, the unity, the love that once was, but it's buried under years of silence, under bridges burned, under pride too stubborn to bend. In all these moments, the diagnosis, the betrayal, the waiting, the loss, the failure, the fracture, fear knocks louder than hope. Its voice is a chorus of despair, a symphony of doubt, a drumbeat of defeat. It creeps in at dawn when the first light feels like a lie. It whispers at noon when the world buzzes, but you're still. It screams at midnight when the silence is thickest. You're alone, you're broken, you're finished. This is your end. This maze has no exit. This fog has no edge. This tide has no shore. Give up, let go. Let it take you. It's a shadow that grows taller with every step, a weight that presses harder with every breath, a storm that rages fiercer with every tear. It paints your future black, days of emptiness, nights of regret, years of nothing. It replays your past like a judge, every mistake, every fall, every flaw. It steals your present, your peace, your strength, your will. It's a thief with cold hands, a liar with a silver tongue, a captor with iron chains, tempting you to believe that this is all there is, that the maze is your prison, that the shadows are your home, that the light is a dream you'll never wake to. But wait, just wait, hold your breath, and listen, because there's a light breaking through the cracks of this crumbling world, a truth stronger than the darkness pressing in, a whisper rising above the noise of your fears, calling you to hold on. It's faint at first, like the first pink streak of dawn on a horizon you thought would stay black forever, like the distant hum of a song you can't yet name, like the flicker of a candle in a wind you thought would snuff it out, like the rustle of leaves in a forest you thought was dead, like the drip of water in a cave you thought was dry, but it's there steady, growing a pulse beneath the chaos, a hand reaching through the fog, a voice cutting through the storm. You're not alone, not now, not ever. There's a presence walking beside you, a hope flickering in the distance, a promise woven into the fabric of your soul. The maze may twist, the shadows may deepen, but they don't own you, they don't define you, they don't get the last word. So pause, right here, right now. Lift your eyes, even if they're blurred with tears, even if your heart trembles, even if your hands shake, even if your knees buckle, because something's coming. Something stronger than the tide that threatens to drown you, brighter than the fog that blinds you, louder than the fear that deafens you. It's the sound of hope refusing to die, the glow of a light no darkness can snuff out, the echo of a God who sees you, knows, loves you, and won't let you go. It's not a mirage, not a trick of the mind, not a fleeting wish. It's real. It's solid, it's yours, and it's breaking through right now in this moment, in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this tear, in this sigh, in this silence. Let's stay with this, because this isn't just a fleeting thought. It's a lifeline thrown across the chasm, a rope dangling in the pit, a bridge spanning the flood. Imagine this. You're standing in that hospital parking lot, the diagnosis still ringing in your ears, the world spinning out of control, but then a breeze, soft, unexpected, brushing your cheek, carrying the scent of rain, a reminder that life still moves, that the earth still turns, that you're still here, still breathing, still fighting. Or picture yourself in that silent house, the divorce papers stark against the table, their absence an echo that drowns the walls, but then bird, outside singing through the dawn, its notes piercing the stillness, a tiny defiance against the weight, a fragile anthem of survival. Or see yourself in that nursery, the crib empty, the walls bare, the H unbearable, but then a ray of sunlight slipping through the blinds, painting a stripe of gold across the floor, a whisper that the day isn't done, that the story isn't over, that the canvas isn't blank. These are the cracks, the places where the light seeps in, where the shadows split apart, where hope dares to breathe. They're small, they're quiet, but they're real and they're yours. They're the first threads of a tapestry you can't yet see, the first notes of a song you'll one day sing, the first steps out of the maze you thought would hold you forever. They're the rustle of leaves in a wind you thought had died, the flicker of stars in a sky you thought was void, the pulse of life in a heart you thought was broken, including Bukazar. And what about the day you lost your home? The eviction notice taped to the door, the landlord's voice cold on the phone. You have 48 hours. You packed boxes with trembling hands, the kids watching wide-eyed. Where are we going, Mommy? Daddy? A furniture sold for pennies, walls stripped bare where pictures once hung. You drove away with what fit in the car, the rear view mirror showing a life fading into dust. Now it's a cramped apartment, a motel room, a friend's couch, the shame of asking for help burning your throat. The nights sleepless with numbers, rent, foods spinning in your head, the days endless with survival, scavenging for scraps of dignity. You pass the old neighborhood, see the new family in your yard, and it's a knife twist, a reminder of roots ripped up, of stability lost, including Nebuchadnezzar of a home that's no longer yours. The kids adapt, but you see the strain, the questions they don't ask, the toys they left behind, and you feel the failure like a brand, the weight of if only crushing your spirit. If only I'd saved more, worked harder, seen it coming. The maze tighter, the shadows darker, the exit farther, or maybe it's the silence after a war within, addiction clawing at you for years. The bottle, the pills, the needle, the screen, your master, your jailer, your escape. You promise yourself never again 100 times, but the nights got long, the stress got heavy, and the pull got stronger. You hit it well, smiles at work, lies at home until you couldn't. The crash came, the family found out, the job slipped away. The mirror showed a stranger, and now you sit in the wreckage, rehab behind you or ahead, trust broken, savings gone, the craving still whispering, just one more. No one will know. You walk past the bar, the dealer's corner, the old haunts, every step a battle, every breath a choice, the shame a cloak, the guilt a chain, the fear a shadow. Looting Nebuchadnezzar, I fall again. Will I lose it all, I ever be free? The maze a circle, the fog a trap, the tide a pull you can't outrun. Or perhaps it's the weight of rejection, not once, but over and over. The lover who left, the friend who ghosted, the parent who criticized, the child who blamed, including Nebuchadnezzar, the boss who overlooked. You've built walls, thick and high, but they don't keep the hurt out, they keep you in. You scroll through social media, see the parties you weren't invited to, the successes you didn't share, the lives moving on without you. And you wonder, am I too much, too little, too broken, too flawed? You sit alone, the phone silent, the room empty, laughter others an echo you can't join. Rejection is a mirror reflecting your doubts, a voice whispering, no one wants you, no one stays, the maze a prison, the shadows a cell, the fog a blindfold. And in Nebuchadnezzar and in every crack of this broken life, the diagnosis that stole your breath, the betrayal that stole your trust, the waiting that stole your time, the loss that stole your joy, the failure that stole your pride, the fracture that stole your peace. Fear knocks louder than hope, its voice. A relentless drum, a pounding fist, a howling wind that creeps in at dawn when the first light feels like a lie, mocking your sleepless eyes. It whispers at noon when the world buzzes, but you're still. A statue in a storm, it screams at midnight when the silence is thickest. A blanket you can't throw off, including you, Nebuchadnezzar. You're alone in this. You're broken beyond repair. You're finished before you've begun. This maze has no exit. This fog has no edge. This tide has no shore. Give up, let go, let it take you. It's a shadow that towers over you, a weight that crushes you, a storm that drowns you. It paints Nebuchadnezzar, it paints your future black, days of emptiness stretching into weeks, weeks into months, months into years of nothing. Including Nebuchadnezzar plays your past like a judge on a throne, every mistake magnified, every fall replayed, every flaw exposed. It steals your present, your peace slipping through your fingers, your strength draining from your bones, your will fading from your soul. It's a thief with cold hands gripping your heart, a liar with a silver tongue twisting your mind, a captor with iron chains binding your spirit, tempting you to believe that this is all there is, that the maze is your prison with no key, that the shadows are your home with no door. Nebuchadnezzar, that the light is a dream you'll never wake to, a star you'll never reach, a psalm you'll never hear. Holding Nebuchadnezzar, but wait, just wait, hold your breath and listen, because there's a light breaking through the cracks of this crumbling world, a truth stronger than the darkness pressing in, a whisper rising above the noise of your fears, calling you to hold on. It's fading, Nebuchadnezzar. It's faint at first, like the first pink streak of dawn on a horizon you thought would stay black forever. Including Nebuchadnezzar, like the distant hum of a song you can't yet name but feel in your bones, like the flicker of a candle in a wind you thought would snuff it out, like the rustle of leaves in a forest you thought was dead, like the drip of water in a cave you thought was dry, like the chirp of a bird in a storm you thought would silence it. But it's there, steady, growing, a pulse beneath the chows of your unraveling world, a hand reaching through the fog that blinds you, a voice cutting through the storm that deepens you. You're not alone, not now. Not ever. Including Nebuchadnezzar, there's a presence walking beside you, a hope flickering in the distance, like a lighthouse on a jagged shore, a promise woven into the fabric of your soul, like a thread of gold in a tattered cloth. The maze may twist, the shadows may deepen, the tide may rise, but they don't own you, they don't define you, they don't get the last word. So pause. Right here now, lift your eyes, even if they're blurred with tears. Including Nebuchadnezzar, even if your heart trembles like a leaf in the wind, even if your hands shake like branches in a gale, even if your knees buckle under the weight, because something's coming, Something stronger than the tide that threatens to drown you, brighter than the fog that blinds you, louder than the fear that defends you. It's the sound of hope refusing to die, the glow of a light that no darkness can snuff out, the echo of a God who sees you in your hospital bed, knows you in your empty house, loves you in your silent nursery, and won't let you go in your darkest night. This is not a mirage shimmering in the heat, not a tradneza, not a trick of a desperate mind, not a fleeting wish on a falling star. It's real, it's solid, it's yours, and it's breaking through right now, in this moment, in this breath, in this heartbeat here, in this silence, in this shadow, in this maze.